So yeah, now I just messed up the video, but someone just stopped me on the road. Yeah, he was angry, and but when he started smoking, he was not as angry, still angry, but he was started talking about a lot of crazy stuff. He was talking about how now he understands that his journey is not going to probably be with his girlfriend any longer. So his journey is probably going to end, and him and his girlfriend are probably going to go their separate ways. And then he was talking about how nothing suicidal, but just how problematic he is and his life is, and how people are always pissing him off. And then he kept going on and on about that, and that was after we bought it and smoked it. So I was mostly just ignoring his ass because most of the stuff he was saying I was just ignoring because he was crazy, and I didn't want him to mess up my high. So yeah, that was never mind. It was it's pretty crazy. And then he started even getting worse. Started talking about putting me in on his craziness, talking about how he probably shouldn't have come with. It was probably destiny that we were to meet, so that I could connect with his girlfriend, and she and I could leave him to be in nature by himself, because he didn't feel like he was fully being supported by his girlfriend. So he kept going on with that, talking about how he was glad that he was able to be a force in this connection or something like that, where it was a flip-flop meeting where, because he would, in a way, he was kind of not right, but in a way he had his words had a little meaning to it, because I don't know how, except for the fact that his girlfriend needed him. Hold on. Except for the fact that his girlfriend needed him, I don't know how she would have even been with him, because they were very different. He was all nature-y and spiritual, and she's talking about technology and she's an atheist, and he's not an atheist. Well, he's not really religious, but he's not an atheist either. He's like spiritual, natural, nature-loving, kind of follows a lot of stuff in the Bible, Old Testament, Jewish, had a lot of weird stuff going on, not weird, just different, to say the least. So yeah, it kind of made sense where he was, in a small way, it made sense what he was saying, because I couldn't see how she would have been with him anyway, and he is a huge dick, just an asshole a lot of times. And I know that he could have been, those actions were not him. I know that he can become a better person. So he's not an ass, but his characteristics were characteristics of an ass. Let's say that. But either way, he was really just different from her. And his girlfriend and I related to one another way better than he did. But then again, most people relate to his girlfriend way better than they did to him. And she was even pointing that out. But I didn't relate a whole bunch to her anyway, but either way, at sometimes I could almost feel like both of us thought he was just being a moron. But then if you keep going further on, once again, most people would have thought he was being a moron. Because he was. But, alright, so, yeah, it got pretty bad. It got so bad where I ended up just saying, fuck you to both of them, and getting out of the car. They dropped me off at an undisclosed spot where I didn't know where I was, but I knew that I wanted to get out of the car, and I did. And that's where that actually the area that I was dropped off of at was north of Denver and northwest of, just north of Denver, where the two main roads going from Denver and the city west of Denver meet north of Denver. It's hard to explain, but I was north of Denver, and well, that began another little adventure. I'll talk to you about that later.